That's a crazy one.
Hey everybody, so today I thought it would be really fun to film myself getting ready because today the Starlets are performing at halftime. I thought it'd be fun to film myself getting ready and vlog some of like us preparing to perform and then us at the game, just so people can get an idea of what a Dominican University basketball game is like. Today's actually a double header, so we have a men's game at 2 and then a women's game at 4:15. So we have to be in the studio at noon. Right now it is almost 11, so I have to start getting ready. I just wanted to apologize. I know I haven't put up a video in like almost 2 months. This semester has just been very hectic. A lot has been stressing me out, and then I've put like a lot of additional stress and pressure on myself since I'm captain, and it's been stressing me out a lot. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you want to see how I do my makeup for games, keep on watching. So I wrote down some talking points just for things for me to talk about while I'm doing my makeup, so it's not just like me doing my makeup. I usually start with my eyes first. Things are sliding. I use the CoverGirl Olay foundation that my mom uses for her face as my eyeshadow primer, just because I feel like it works really well and it's lighter than my skin tone a little bit. So it's like a really good primer if you want the colors to really show up on your skin. So I already have my uniform on just because I don't like putting my uniform over my makeup. And usually what I do before I get into like using powders and everything, I try to put a hoodie on, which I have right here, and make sure that I don't get anything on my uniform because obviously like we're about to perform in these, you don't want to get them dirty. So I will do that as soon as I'm done priming my lids. And then I already did my hair too. Usually I do my hair after my makeup, but since we are just doing straight hair and half up, half down, I thought it would just make more sense to do it beforehand. So a little background about me when it comes to just dance in general. I started dancing when I was 2 years old. My mom put me in ballet and tap classes, and then when I moved at age 5 to Evanston, which is where I live now, my mom and dad put me in hip hop classes, and then I never did anything else. So I've just been doing hip hop pretty much since I was 5 years old. I really enjoy hip hop more than anything else, but being in the Starlets has really allowed me to expand my dance repertoire in terms of like the type of dance that I want to do and the type of dance that I feel like I'm confident in and that I enjoy. I've been doing a lot of contemporary. I was in a tap dance number for Showcase 2 years ago or a year ago, I forget. We did some like musical theater numbers too for Showcase, and that was really fun. Yeah, so I feel like being on the Starlets has really helped me expand my horizons when it comes to dance, and honestly I think that's the best part about being in the Starlets, is that you don't have to just do one thing unless you want to, which is really cool, and why I'm glad I was on Silver up until this year, because I got the chance to not only have more free time for school, I got the chance to, you know, work on not only my hip-hop skills but everything else. And I've learned a lot about jazz while I've been here. I've never taken a jazz class before or anything like that. I'm looking at my mirror right here. So like my first experience with jazz was coming here and joining the Starlets. So that has been just like a really fun experience. This dance that we're performing today actually was choreographed by me, my co-captain, and our coach with the help of 2 girls on our executive board. And this is the first time I've ever choreographed anything jazz. Like even for Showcase, I've tried to do things out of my comfort zone for Showcase and choreograph, and that's kind of difficult, but I enjoy it. I find it really, really fun, and I'm so glad I had their help because it would have been so much more stressful if I was really on my own with this. I'm just cleaning up my brows a little bit and then further like smoothing out the primer or the foundation. I'm not a studio dancer. I used to be around, I forget what age. I think when I was in elementary school, I was a studio dancer at Urban Beat Dance, which is a studio in Skokie. And then I stopped going there and I just danced at like whatever workshops or like intensives, whatever dance workshop I could find, I did it, but it was only hip hop. So that's pretty much been all the dance I did, pretty much middle school through high school. Oh no, I was a cheerleader in middle school, which was basically just like us cheering on the basketball teams and doing different like steps, which was really fun. I enjoyed being a part of that a lot. And my math teacher was like our coach, and that was really fun because I liked her. I really enjoyed being in that. And then in elementary school, I was part of something called the Cougar Girls, which was kind of similar. It was like stepping and cheering on the school in general because we were performing like basically like small dance performances. And my kindergarten teacher was the coach for that. So that was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. And then in high school, I was on Pom Kids, which is like our Pom hip hop dance team that we have at Evanston Township. And I was only on that freshman year just because it really stressed me out. Like being in the environment, it was just all girls all the time and people talk a lot about each other, and I just couldn't, I was not thriving in that environment. It was honestly stressing me out, so that's why I only did it freshman year. So I wish I would have kept doing it because I really enjoyed the friends that I made and all the dances that I learned while I was on there. But things happen and you know, stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much my background when it comes to dance. Everything I've done from age 2 up until now has pretty much been like hip hop. And then now when I came to college, I did the Starlets, and it's completely changed like my skill set when it comes to dance. And I'm actually trying out to be on the UDA staff. For those who don't know, that's the Universal Dance Association. So I'm really excited about that. I feel like that's gonna be so much fun if I get the job, which I hope I will. I just feel like that'd be so much fun because I already volunteer at a dance studio and teach kids about hip hop. So if I could teach kids about jazz and like help high school girls get better at jazz, that'd be so much fun. So hopefully I get that job, and that could be my job right after graduation, which would be so cool. All right, so I'm just taking these 2 browns and rubbing them. I am blending them into my crease. Okay, so I'm actually gonna take these 2 pieces of tape. I put them on my hand just so they're not super sticky when I put them on my eyes. So I can have a sharp wing going on. Honestly, I do my makeup differently every time. That's a good look, I love that. Every time that we perform, I do my makeup a little bit differently just because I like trying out new techniques and stuff that I learned from watching YouTube videos. So I'm gonna take this black potion. Can you read that? Yeah. I'm gonna take potion and just rub that. What are these words that I'm using? I'm going to put that right here. Instead of eyeliner, I like to use black eyeshadow just because I feel like it's easier and then it looks more smoky. So that black is on there. Now we can take these off because they're hurting my eyes, and I'm done with the black. You see that? That's what we want. Now to finish off the eyes, I'm gonna put this gold from the Athena palette called Fierce. This gold right here. I'm gonna tap that on the inner part. And try and be careful because this one, because it's so sparkly, it kind of crumbles in your hand. So I have to be careful, which is why I do my eyes first, because I don't want gold glitter all over my face. I blend it up and out usually, like towards my brow bone and then into the crease color. I'm gonna top that off with some highlighter later and do my inner corner with the highlighter as well. Now we can move on to the face. I've already put on moisturizer and sunscreen, so now I just need to prime my face and then we can do my foundation. Oh, this is the primer that I always use. It's the Revlon Photo Ready primer. I've had this for like almost 2 years now and it's still going. I haven't run out yet, which is great because then I don't have to buy a new one. And it really does keep your makeup on, and it just squirted me. That's great. I just realized I did not zip up my jacket. And now I have primer on myself, so that's fun. Luckily it's not that noticeable and it wipes off pretty easy. So yeah, let's zip up, because that's the whole point of me wearing the hoodie. There we go. And now we can put on primer. Oh, I am running out. That's why it's squirting. Y'all hear that? Well, guess 2 years was the limit. Oh my god. Here, let me put the very little that I have right now on my face. And make sure I don't have any fallout from that gold shimmer eyeshadow. There it is. Sun is finally coming out. And it hit me in the face. We're gonna let that primer sit for like 2 minutes and then I'll move on to foundation. Okay, so I just finished up the eyes. I put some more like dark brown in the crease a little bit, just like the outer V. Now I'm gonna move on to foundation because the primer has set. This is the foundation I always use. It's the LA Girl Pro Coverage Illuminating Foundation in coffee. It just matches my skin tone the best, so I always wear it. I'm gonna try and do light coverage today, just because since we're performing at 2 games, I don't want my makeup to start getting cakey like right after the first game because we have to stay the whole time for both games. So I want this to be full coverage but not heavy, if that makes sense. I always try to blend it down into my neck because our uniforms are V-necks, so if your face doesn't match your neck, like people are gonna be able to tell. Especially if like my foundation, even if it does match my skin tone, it's a little bit different. Like obviously your skin tone, especially under like the lights in the gym, it's not the same as like people looking at you straight on, like talking to you, if that makes sense. If you watch my other videos, you would know that I am on the Starlets here at Dominican University in River Forest, Illinois. We're the longest running dance team here at Dominican. We've been here the longest, but I mean, we're not considered a sport. We're like a student organization, like a certified student organization, just because we've been here for so long and we fulfill the requirements as a student organization. We do a lot throughout the year. We actually have 2 teams that like make up the Starlets. The blue team, which is the team that practices the most often, and that's made up of like the girls who are mostly proficient or really good at jazz, some girls who are really good at like stunts. We have a lot of former cheerleaders on blue, and the captain, so me and my co-captain are automatically on blue because we're captains. I actually was on our other team, silver, which is made up of all the dancers who are not really good at jazz but have the potential to be good at jazz, or people who just don't want to perform at halftime but maybe they want to perform at our showcase, which is like the big thing that silver does every year. We practice once a week for silver, and that's like blue and silver combined on that day of the week. And we practice together, just going over technique, trying to get silver better at jazz. And sometimes we use the end of silver practice as practice time for blue if they have a game coming up. So I've been on silver every year until this year, and it's been really, really cool just to see like the change. And we had so many freshmen interested in joining this year, which is super exciting. And a lot of them didn't even know that the Starlets existed and are like super interested to see like how the season is gonna go, which I'm really excited. I have so many ideas for this year of fun things that we can do. We have competition coming up, showcase, which I mentioned, which is basically just like a big dance performance where we invite other dance teams on campus. Black Student Union has Melanin Fuse, which is kind of like majorette style of dance, and OLA, which is the organization for Latin American students, has Estilo y Sabor, which is only Latin styles of dance. They strictly only do Latin styles of dance. Like both teams are so good at what they do. I'm super excited to see like what happens this year for showcase, because we always invite the other dance teams to come and perform. And we love letting the girls choreograph their own dances, or if like they don't know how to choreograph or don't feel comfortable choreographing, we'll choreograph it for them, or bring an alumni Starlet who's graduated in to choreograph it for them and teach it to them on their off time, like all throughout spring semester. So it's like spring semester is always like super hectic and busy, but it's a lot of fun. Like when the showcase comes together at the end, we usually do it in like March, and I think that's what we're sticking with this year. Today I actually am going to do a cream blush. It's actually a lipstick, It's one of those Luxe lipsticks from ColourPop in LA Lady. You can't read that. Okay, so sometimes I do this. I'll use lipsticks as like a cream blush and just apply it to the high points of my cheeks. But if it's a lipstick that's long lasting, it usually does last all day. And since I didn't set my face with powder, this technique usually works the best when you don't do that. So it should work. We actually just had team pictures recently and I did this technique and I think it turned out really, really good. Now we're gonna do concealer. I try to not do too much concealer, and then since I did that tape trick earlier, I don't need to like really correct anything. So I'm just gonna do concealer right here. I've been trying out the Jackie Aina trick where you just let it sit for a little bit. So I'm gonna do that today. Oh, can't forget the forehead. Oh, one more thing I did want to say. Silver is made up of people who potentially want to perform at halftime. So even if they don't want to perform at halftime, they have the option to come to practices with blue and then perform at halftime if they can get the dance down. We actually have one girl who's performing with us today who is on silver and she's gotten the dance down pretty well. So I'm very, very happy about that. That's something that we didn't really implement my freshman year, so I'm glad that we're offering that to the girls as an option. Well, I'm not even gonna say that we didn't offer it, because I remember my sophomore year, there were girls on silver who did perform in blue dances. Like we had a Christmas dance and a girl on silver performed in that. I think maybe because I didn't feel like I was good at jazz and that I'd ever get better based on like my performance at silver practices. I didn't think I was good at jazz, so I just never asked. I think that's what it was. But now that I'm captain, I don't have a choice. And I was like, we teach them jazz every week. We gotta do a jazz dance, you know? So I'm really excited about this dance. I think it's gonna turn out really cute. And I'm hoping that we can perform something similar for a competition. Sometimes I like to blend out my concealer with my finger. They say to use your ring finger because it's the finger that uses the least amount of pressure. And you want to be careful with your under eyes because your under eyes are very sensitive. You don't want to hurt yourself, poke yourself in the eye. So you want to use the finger that has the least amount of pressure. And I think the warmth from your finger really blends it out beautifully. And then usually after I do that, I just wipe my finger off on a tissue or paper towel. Usually a paper towel is better, but right now I just have a tissue. Now what I'm gonna do is take this Maybelline Fit Me powder. I have two colors. I actually got the wrong color the first time I ordered it online. I have dark and deep. And deep is the lighter one, so I'm gonna put that under my eyes and then put dark all around the rest of my face. I'm gonna use a sponge for that, because I think it blends it out really well. And then I don't bake. I literally just press the powder into my skin because I think it looks more natural that way. And I have dry skin, so it's a lot less cakey if you just do it this way. Or it turns out less cakey. Face is almost finished. I'm gonna move on to my eyebrows really quick. I'm taking this sweat-proof eyebrow gel from e.l.f. and running that through my brows. I feel like, well no, I don't feel like, I know. I have really thick eyebrows and I did do them myself this week because I did not have the money to get them done. And I feel like they don't look that bad, so I'm just gonna fill them in after I put this gel in there, and the gel's gonna make it really stick. And then hopefully the fact that it's sweat-proof will help it stay throughout the day. Which it has in the past, so I'm hoping that that is the case today. But yeah, I let it dry a little bit. Actually, while I let it dry, I'm going to set the rest of my face with the dark powder. And then literally just press it everywhere that I put foundation. And then this usually helps it stay and also blend in a lot better when I use powder. Sometimes I won't put foundation on my chest for games, and then I just put the powder on and it works pretty well, I feel like. On the ears, I think a lot of people forget to put foundation on their ears, and you can tell sometimes with people, depending on like the color of their foundation, obviously. You don't want people to clock you. Please put foundation on your ears and your neck. So I usually just fill in my eyebrows with any black eyeshadow that I have. I have like 3 different kinds from like different palettes or like single eyeshadows. I'm now realizing that my eyebrows aren't completely even. But you know what? There are worse things that can happen. We're gonna add eyeshadow to the bottom lashes. And then I make sure to connect it if I'm doing a wing, because it looks better that way. My camera died, but all I did was blend out my lower lash line, or smoke out my lower lash line. Now I'm going to take some setting spray. This is my ColourPop one. I don't really like the way this smells, but it works and it's very strong. And then I fan myself. Oh, I can make that more dramatic. Alright, so now I'm just gonna finish off the eyes. I'm gonna use the Sweatproof mascara from e.l.f. This is from their Active line, which is like, I guess, makeup for the gym. I don't know. So I'm gonna use that first as like a lash primer. And then I'm gonna go in with the mascara that really shows up on my lashes. Alright, so today I think I'm going to use the L'Oreal Voluminous in Carbon Black. I love putting mascara on my lower lashes. I think it's because mine are so long. Jesus, okay. I think it's because mine are so long. I love the way it looks. It's very like doll light. So for highlighter, I always use my Fenty Beauty just because it's Fenty. It shows up great on my skin and I like to glow. And this makes you glow. I use my finger usually for my nose just because I feel like it hits it right on the point. And then my bridge of my nose. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm gonna take my finger, go into Hustler Baby, which is the more sparkly one, and then go over that gold again. And then I'm gonna take a small brush like this and go into Hustler Baby again and hit my inner corner. This needs to be blended out more, so we're gonna fix that. Yeah, I should have used a more precise brush after I used my finger. So for lips, I usually use this L'Oreal liquid lipstick. It's the chocolate scented ones, the, was it Le Chocolat in 70% Yum. And I'll put that like around my lips and then just blend it in. Sometimes I'll use BFF3 by ColourPop. It really depends on how I'm feeling that day. And then I just blend that in before it dries. Now I'm taking the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Lip in Scarlet Letter because we have to wear a dark red lip. I just put that in the center and blend it out. Usually I don't blend it out like this, but today I'm trying out a new technique, I guess. You know, that looks good to me. And then because I blended out so furiously with my finger, I'm gonna go back in with that brush that we used to clean up the eyebrows and clean up around my mouth. And make sure to set that with powder afterwards. So now I just set my face one more time. This time I'm gonna use the Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Hydrating Setting Spray because of my dry skin. Fan myself again. Now I'm done. Now I need to fix my hair and then I'm gonna head over to the dance studio and meet up with the rest of the girls. Oh, by the way, I always make sure to bring mascara, a sponge, a beauty sponge, or one of those disposable makeup sponges, and my lip. I always make sure to bring that with me. Sometimes I'll bring highlighter, but today I don't feel like I need to do that. I always make sure to bring these with me just in case I eat or my makeup gets messed up. I can fix those things. Ooh, and then I always try not to smile after I set my makeup because then you'll get creasing right here. So I'll try not to smile. Bye.